When it comes to ARK, rat holes are everywhere. So we proudly present top 3 unknown rat holes with full base designs on ARK. This video is sponsored by Azura. Azura is a 25x server with 6-man tribes. Azura has 7 maps and they rotate weekly. Azura has insta-tame, fast breeding rates, boosted rates for solo and duo tribes, and custom supply drops. Azura has an in-game shop but does not allow any pay to win. Azura offers new player protection, turret filler, and a ton of other great plugins. Servers launch today at 6 PM Central Eastern Time, link in the description. And coming at number 3, this can be found at 51.5 latitude and 52.9 longitude on Aberration. Now here it is on the map. It is pretty much dead middle of the map. Now this is in the blue zone. However, you need to be careful as you're right on the edge of the hazard zone, so make sure to watch out for that and make sure to watch how far down you go because you will be taking damage once you leave the rat hole, which is a good side of if people try to raid. However, here's the entrance. It's a bit of an odd entrance. This one goes up. Now this up entrance only has one little area to get in. There is a second area in there, but you can't make it through there with a player, which is nice. Now anyways, once you're in here, this is a bit of a different rat hole. This one is going to need to be built with cliff platforms or some pillars. Now you can't build a standard base like you can with some other ones, but overall it's a good sized rat hole. You have a good amount of room in here. As long as you have some cliff platforms and a good amount of time, you can turn this into a very good base spot. Here's another spot over here that I was talking about, but you can't get players through. Now here is the full base design. As you can see, we decided to build the kind of turret wall on some cliff platforms, and we have a little thing down here just to kind of stop people from going behind it and getting underneath to blow up the cliff platforms. Now of course this is with the 100 turret limit, but if you're on a higher turret limit server, make sure to place a lot more turrets as you're definitely gonna need them. A good side about this kind of setup is there's no flyers on Aberration, so that means it's gonna be pretty difficult to get through here. Other than using maybe a Bloodstalker, I don't really see them even attempting to really get into this thing. Now coming through here, we have our first little area. You have a tech genny to power the main wall right there. And then you have a ladder leading up to one of the 5 layers. Now, since the rat hole is built kind of up, we have to go up. And since you can't really use a lot of items on Aberration, going up in here isn't going to be the easiest. So, yes, it doesn't look the best. I got it to look as best as possible with all this, but there are about 5 layers of pretty long ladders to get up in here. But as you can see, there were some spots I couldn't really make look the best, but I tried the best that I could have. And this is the final ladder, I believe, to get up in here. Hopefully. Let's see. Nope. Oh yeah, okay. This is the main area, then one more ladder to get up into the actual base area. But this down here is our just main hatchery. We have some refrigerators, feeding troughs. Yes, it's not the biggest, but you're not going to be breeding a lot of stuff if you're living in here in the first place. Then up here is the main area. I try to make it as spacious as possible for a smaller tribe like a duo or a trio tribe. You know, you got indie forges, fabricators, a grinder, all that stuff. And then up top, we wanted to make sure to have a lot of vault storage for you guys and actually add in some more tech stuff that you usually wouldn't see in a duo tribe, like a tech transmitter. So if you're looking to make a lot of tech, this is a good layout for you. And then there's a bunch of vaults in here, and there's some refrigerators in the back, but that is the design. And coming at number 2, this can be found at 82.2 latitude and 87.3 longitude on Valguero. And then here it is on the map. Now this little rat hole, a lot of people really do not know about this, but it is a super hidden rat hole that is right here. Now if you are a solo or even maybe a duo tribe, this is perfect. I mean, you have this nice little area, however it does take a Pelagornis to get into the rat hole. I've tried to do this with a zipline and some crossbows, and it really just doesn't work out that well. By having a Pelagornis, it allows you to get into the rat hole like that. And when you're in, you can just really just like leave them in here, you know, put them off to the side if you really wanted to, or you can just pick them up. However, you can fit a good amount of stuff in here actually. The only downside is you really can't put an indie forge in here. It's going to poke through and tell everybody that you're in here. But other than that, it is a nice little storage area if you want to use it, or it's a nice little good starting area, put some forges, some fabricators, get some stuff going while still being able to hide. Now here is the full base design. This includes a Pelagornis, so getting in and out of it's going to be a little difficult, but this was built for a more of a starter player. So yes, it is a big difference from the other two on this list, but we were trying to kind of make one, for a starter, a medium-ish tribe, and then a big tribe. Now, to get in and out of this, you're going to have to basically throw him in there, and you're going to have to be stuck on him, get him like that, pick him up, and then you come inside. So I was able to fit 5 heavy turrets comfortably, but you can put more if you want to. Inside's super compact, super simple: fabricator, smithy, vault, chem bench, 6 forges, a generator, and a storage box. Now the mortar and pestles on the ground are used for extra storage, and you have a cooking pot and a campfire, for food. But it's super simple. It's underneath these stairs. I don't believe anybody can mesh bite you here, and it is an amazing spot for this base, as really nobody even knows about this spot. And coming at number 1, this can be found at 94.9 latitude and 60.6 longitude on the center. Now here it is on the map. Now this spot I personally like a lot. It is a nice little spot that is actually very difficult to raid, especially because it's in a ceiling. Now as you can see with this little crack in the terrain right here, you're entered into this nice little rat hole. However, the rat hole is a little more complicated. It's more of a kind of stretched out, laid out kind of rat hole. It's not more of a just central area. So you're going to have to build multiple layers, and you're going to have to use a lot of cliff platforms. So if you are fine with that, then this will make for a great spot. If you defend this thing right, I guarantee you no one's even going to see you here or even try to raid you, as this spot will be pretty difficult to raid. Now here is the full base design. As you can see on the outside, we literally put an entire turret wall. Now after messing around, this was the best comfortable amount of hatch frames on here for the 100 turret limit. I was just kind of messing around putting it in like intervals of 3, and it just didn't fit, and intervals of 5 seemed to work perfectly for me. But this is the entire turret wall in the out front, so it's a main turret wall, and then it goes off to the side, to kind of protect that side. Now this turret wall is on 2 layers of cliff plats, so that means that if one layer gets taken down, it still is surviving on the other one, which is a huge bonus to this. Now, for people who don't know this rat hole and they're going to be raiding you, they're really not even going to know that it goes up, so they're going to come inside and be like, what? It's just a generator and some ammo boxes. However, there's an entire up area up here. Now, to get up here, you're going to need a crossbow and some grapples, but it shouldn't be a huge issue, especially if you're living in here, because you should have that and know that. But anyways, once you're in here, you have a lot of stuff in here. It's very comfortable. I was surprised how much stuff you're able to fit. You can put an entire crafting station in here, 2 replicators, deady storages, refrigerators, a few vaults in the corner, a whole grinder, and a tech transmitter. And there was still even some extra room in here to really add. I just didn't know what else to put in here. Now coming up to the second layer, which is also on a cliff plat. This one is a little more simpler. You just have a nice little cooking and crafting area and some crop plots for a few crops, because you're probably not going to be using too many crops in here, but you're going to need it for stuff like med brews and really whatever else you want to make. Now coming up here is our third layer, which is our basically personal layer. You have your cryo refrigerators, mannequins, a ton of vaults. Yes, it's very squished in here, I know, but that's how I was going to have to fit everything. And everything does work, so which is a good side. There's some turrets in here just to kind of defend it a little bit. And then up top is our last layer, which is our hatching layer. Most people aren't even going to see this, but this is our egg incubator layer. And basically it's just a nice little hatchery. Yeah, it's going to get clumped up very fast, but it works as a great hatchery. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to go check out Azura, which is in the link in the description down below. Check out that amazing server.